Hey y'all, welcome to my new series, Learn with Whit. This is episode 1 and I will be going over the Tunisian honeycomb stitch. This is a very easy stitch and I just learned it yesterday, so I basically want to document my learning with this series. So it will be crocheting, Tunisian crocheting, knitting, and any other crafts that I learned something new on. It might be kind of random, but I hope you enjoy. Alright, so this is a honeycomb stitch swatch and I made it with Lion Brand yarn. This is thick and quick. It is really squishy, lots of texture in the yarn already. This is the first swatch that I made and I did make some mistakes. I made this a little too loose. If you can tell, there's more definition in this pink one than with the orange one. So yeah, I will explain how to avoid making your swatch look too loose. Here's a DK weight cotton version that I used a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook on. Stitch definition is really good here. As I mentioned, I'm using Lion Brand woolies. And it's thick and quick. It's a number 6 bulky weight yarn. The recommended hook size is 9 millimeters. With Tunisian, I like to go up 1 hook size because Tunisian is pretty dense, or it usually creates a dense fabric. The colorway is Blossom. So here's my Tunisian crochet hook from Gu, and it's 10 millimeters. And I attached the cable even though I don't really need it, and I put the stopper on there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to use to create a swatch out of this thick and quick. Okay, so let me just get everything out of the way. And do a little readjusting. Okay, whenever I'm starting a new yarn ball or skate or whatever you want to call it, I always pull from the outside. It's my best method for avoiding yarn barf. Just get a little bit of working yarn and start with a traditional slip knot. I just wrap it over and then pull through a loop and tighten it. Shrink it down to about the size of my hook, and then adjust it just a little bit tighter, not too tight though. I'm gonna chain 10. I think that was 9. Yeah, 1 more. All right, so I have 10, and we're going to insert our hook into the second chain from the hook. So that's the first chain right there, and we're going to insert into the second one right here. Insert, yarn over, pull through, and now we have 2 loops on, and we're going to do this for the rest of the chain stitches, making sure that we go under both of those bars and pull up. Pretty straightforward. This is a traditional Tunisian foundation chain. This is how you always start every Tunisian stitch. And so now we have 10 loops. This stitch can be worked over any number of stitches. It doesn't have to be odd or even. The first stitch you do is always going to be chain 1. So you just yarn over and pull through 1 loop. Then after that, you yarn over and you pull through 2. Yarn over, let me get some more working yarn. Pull through 2 all the way down until you have 1 loop. on your hook again. Every Tunisian stitch return is like this, so that makes it pretty easy to remember. And now here's where we do the specifically honeycomb stitching. So we never go into the first stitch that's right here. We always start after that. So there's where we're going to insert our hook for the first stitch. We're going to do a Tunisian simple stitch. And then we're going to do a Tunisian purl stitch. And that's just with yarn in front, insert hook, and yarn over, pull through. Do this little tug, and that's how you avoid getting that loose stitching that I showed you the difference between my first two swatches. You're just going to alternate across, purl, and simple. Purl, give it a little tug after each purl, and simple. Purl. Okay, at the end of each Tunisian row, you're going to have two little loops here that you can go through. You're going to want to go under each of those. You have two loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through. And that's the same regardless of what stitch you're doing. Yarn over, pull through. So now we've completed our first honeycomb stitch row, and the first return stitch, once again, is yarn over, pull through one, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through two, get some more working yarn, yarn over, pull through two all the way across until you have one loop on your hook again. All right, and so I will show you the difference between a simple stitch and a purl stitch. The purl stitch has this little bump underneath it, and so it looks a little shorter, and then there's a bump, and so that's how you can remember what you did when you're going down the line. If you forget, what did I just do, you know? So we're going to do a purl stitch because that's a simple stitch there. Give it a little tug, and then we're going to do a simple stitch. So you're going to alternate doing the opposite stitch that you did the row below. And that's it. It's so simple. This is a 2-row repeat pattern. You cast on any number of stitches, and that last stitch of the row I will show you again so you can see what it looks like again. So you turn it a little bit and you can see you've got 2 loops there. Go under both, yarn over and pull through. See, I've gone over both, yarn over and pull through. All right, so we've completed our second row, and we'll do our chain 1, and then yarn over and pull through 2, all the way back down. It looks so much more complicated than it is. It's really easy to do this stitch. I'm actually in love with this stitch. I'm definitely incorporating it into a couple of my upcoming designs. You can start to see the honeycombs forming already. You have a purl stitch, so we're going to do a simple stitch into that, and a purl stitch into the simple stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and speed up this video so we can get toward the end, and I will show you how to bind off. Once you've completed all your rows, you will return and end up with your one loop on your hook, and you're going to work in pattern. So we have a purl stitch here first and then a simple stitch. So I'll show you how to bind off in pattern for the honeycomb stitch. We're going to do a simple stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then we're going to slip stitch it through. And then we have a simple stitch here, so we're going to do a purl stitch, yarn over, pull it through, and slip stitch it through. And I still give it the same little tug so it can still have that definition. Simple stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then slip stitch it. And you can make it all one motion, you don't have to stop. Once you yarn over and pull through, you can slip stitch it right on through. Just like that. And you can still give it a tug afterward. And you're just going to repeat that all the way across until you get to the end, alternating between purls and simple stitches. And then that last stitch of the row is always going under those two loops. I like to make sure that I have my two on there. And then you just chain one to end. I don't like to cut my swatches because I'm going to use this yarn for something, so less ends to weave in. But there you have it. Honeycomb stitch. I will say that this stitch is really versatile. You can technically use it with any type of yarn, any type of color. It looks really, really good in this DK cotton. So I'm going to try to find something to design. It's got a good amount of drape. I love it. It's not too thick. I use 4.5 millimeter for this one. So it is larger than the recommended hook size. I think the recommended hook size is 3.25, or can't remember. But yeah, this is going to be one of my favorite Tunisian stitches. I literally only know like 3 stitches, but yeah, this is my first swatch and it didn't do the tugs, so it's really loose. So that was my mistake that I made, and I learned to tighten it up and give it more definition. You can really see how much of a difference it makes if you don't do that tug. That's it. I hope this tutorial helped you. My swatch isn't perfect, but it looks amazing for my first time learning this stitch. I went through the orange swatch first, and then I went through this pink one. So just seeing my difference here, my improvement just in one day. Major difference. I'm pretty proud, and I hope that you guys are able to use this tutorial to help you learn a new stitch. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below letting me know if you'd like to learn anything new, anything specific. I will be taking suggestions. Thank you for watching.